The average SUV owner spends $1,200 a year on maintenance and small repairs that a $6 can of WD-40 could have prevented. Dealerships love this. Body shops love this. You are basically handing them money every single time you ignore these 9 hacks. And the worst part? The things that are quietly destroying your SUV right now, your door seals, your sunroof tracks, your undercarriage, could be protected in under 10 minutes at home. We are talking rust, seized bolts, cracked rubber, gum, and paint damage from tree sap and tar that can cost hundreds to fix at a shop. Today we are breaking down the 9 WD-40 hacks that almost every SUV owner completely forgets. And wait until you get to number 3. It could literally save your door from snapping off its hinge in freezing temperatures. Let us get into it. Hack number 9, stuck lug nuts. Let's start with one that could actually save your life. Picture this. You're on the side of a highway. You have a flat tire. You have the spare in the back. You have the jack under the frame. And you cannot get a single lug nut to budge. This happens constantly with SUVs because they sit higher, they haul more weight, and their wheels take on more stress and exposure than a regular sedan. Lug nuts seize up from corrosion, especially in northern states where roads are treated with salt through the winter. You're not just dealing with tight bolts, you are dealing with rust-bonded metal that no amount of muscle is going to loosen in the moment. Here's what you do before it ever gets to that point. Every time you rotate your tires, which should be every 5,000 to 7,500 miles, pull each lug nut completely off, spray a short burst of WD-40 directly onto the wheel stud threads, let it penetrate for a minute, then wipe it off and reinstall. That's it. The WD-40 breaks down any existing oxidation on the threads and leaves a protective film that prevents corrosion from bonding the lug nut to the stud. If you are already dealing with a stuck lug nut in the field, spray it, wait 3 to 5 minutes for it to work into the threads, then apply force. Night and day difference. A single broken wheel stud at a shop costs $80 to $150 to replace. Do this hack, and you will never touch that bill. Hack number 8. Tree sap and tar on your paint. If you park under trees, this one is for you. Tree sap is one of the most underestimated paint killers on the road. It looks harmless. It looks like a little sticky dot. But sap is acidic. It bonds directly to your clear coat, and if you leave it in the summer heat, it can permanently etch into your paint. We are talking about a surface that, if the damage is deep enough, requires a full paint correction or respray to fix, which is anywhere from $300 to $1,500 per panel at a body shop. The same goes for road tar. If you have ever driven behind a paving truck or traveled highways in the summer, you have probably noticed those small black speckles across your front bumper and lower door panels. The tar hardens, and it does not come off with a regular car wash. Here is where WD-40 earns its price tag immediately. Spray it directly onto the sap or tar spot, let it sit for 30 seconds, then wipe with a clean microfiber cloth. The sap lifts off cleanly without any scrubbing or scratching. The tar wipes away like it was never there. Follow it up with a quick soap wash on that panel to remove the WD-40 residue, and your paint is protected. A full detailing session to remove embedded sap and tar from a large SUV runs $150 to $250 at a professional shop. This trick costs you 60 cents of product and 5 minutes of your time. Hack number 7, cleaning and protecting wheel wells. Most SUV owners wash the outside of their vehicle and completely forget the wheel wells. That is exactly what dealerships and body shops are counting on. Wheel wells take the worst abuse of any part of your SUV. Every rock, every piece of road debris, every spray of salt and moisture, it all gets concentrated in there. The factory plastic liner protects the metal underneath, but over time dirt and moisture pack into the liner's crevices, and that is where corrosion starts without you ever seeing it. Here is what you do. During your next wash, take a pressure nozzle and blast out both wheel wells thoroughly. Let them dry. Then spray WD-40 generously across the entire plastic liner surface inside both wells, front and rear. It coats the plastic, repels future water buildup, and leaves a barrier that makes mud and road grime release easily at the next wash instead of packing in and hardening. More importantly, it stops moisture from sitting against the metal frame beneath the liner where rust forms invisibly. Rust repair on a wheel arch, if it spreads to the metal, starts at $400 and goes up depending on how far it has progressed. For wheel wells, 4 minutes, less than $1 worth of product. Hack number 6, sunroof track lubrication. The sunroof is one of the most expensive individual components to repair on any SUV. A full sunroof assembly replacement, including the motor, track, and glass, runs anywhere from $800 to $2,500 depending on your make and model. And the vast majority of sunroof failures are not from defective parts. They are from a neglected track. The sunroof track is a precision aluminum channel that runs around the perimeter of your roof opening. The glass panel glides along this track on small rollers or sliders. When the track dries out, it creates friction. That friction strains the motor. A strained motor burns out. That is your $800 repair. Twice a year, in spring and fall, open your sunroof fully and spray a thin coat of WD-40 along the entire visible track on both sides. Work the sunroof open and closed several times to distribute it. Then, do the same with the tilt function. The track should move completely silently and with zero resistance. If you hear any squeaking, grinding, or hesitation when the sunroof operates, that means the track has been neglected too long. Catch it early with this hack, and you extend the life of that motor by years. Ignore it, and you are looking at a repair that some shops will not do for under $1,000. Hack number 5, rubber door seal preservation. This one is quietly one of the most important hacks on this entire list, and almost nobody does it. The rubber seals around your SUV door frames do two jobs. They keep water out of your cabin, and they keep outside noise from turning every highway drive into an endurance test. Over time, rubber dries out. It cracks. It hardens. When it loses its flexibility, it no longer compresses evenly when the door closes, and you start getting water leaks and road noise intrusion. A full door seal replacement on a mid-size SUV runs $200 to $500 per door, and that is before labor. Apply WD-40 to a clean cloth and wipe it along every door seal on your SUV, all 4 doors, the tailgate, and if you have one, the sunroof perimeter seal. Do this every 3 to 4 months. WD-40 conditions the rubber, restores flexibility, prevents cracking, and creates a mild water-repelling layer that improves the seal's performance. You will notice your doors close with a quieter, tighter thud. You will notice less wind noise on the highway, and your seals will last years longer. One mechanic at a Ford dealership in Texas noted that most seal replacements he sees on high-mileage SUV vehicles are completely preventable with basic rubber conditioning. The owners just never knew to do it. Hack number 4, sticker and adhesive removal without paint damage. This one is critical. If you have ever bought a used SUV and inherited someone else's parking stickers, registration decals, political bumper stickers, or dealer badges, or if your kids have treated your rear window like a scrapbook. Removing adhesive incorrectly is one of the fastest ways to damage paint. People scrape with keys, use fingernails, try acetone, try lighter fluid, and all of these are disasters waiting to happen on painted surfaces or tinted glass. Acetone dissolves clear coat, sharp objects scratch. The damage shows up immediately and permanently. WD-40 is the correct tool for this job. Spray it directly onto the sticker or decal, let it soak for 2 full minutes, then peel slowly from one corner. The adhesive releases cleanly. For any remaining sticky residue, a second application and a microfiber wipe takes it off without a trace. It works on painted bumpers, body panels, rear glass, and even chrome. A paint correction to fix scratches caused by improper decal removal can cost $200 to $600 depending on severity. WD-40 makes this a 5-minute, zero-damage process. Before we get to the top 3 hacks, do me a favor. If this is already helping you save money, hit that like button. It takes 1 second and it genuinely helps the channel. Hack number 3, frozen door locks and hinges in winter. Here is the one that gets people every single winter, and it gets them hard. It is 7 a.m. It is 18 degrees outside. You are already late. You grab your door handle and the lock will not turn. The door will not open. Or worse, you force it open and the frozen hinge snaps under the stress. Replacing a door hinge on an SUV is not a small job. Depending on the vehicle, you are looking at $150 to $400 in parts and labor, and that assumes there is no damage to the door panel or body from the stress. The fix is preventative and takes 30 seconds. Before winter hits, spray WD-40 directly into each door lock cylinder, all 4 doors, and the tailgate. Work the key or the handle back and forth to distribute it inside the mechanism. Then spray each door hinge with WD-40, swinging the door open and closed to work it into the hinge pin. WD-40 displaces any moisture trapped inside the mechanism and leaves a coating that resists freezing. It also stops that awful creaking and resistance you get from dry hinges in the cold. Do this in October. Do it again in January if you are in a northern state. A single broken hinge in February costs you more than 100 cans of WD-40. This is one of the most common and most preventable winter SUV repairs that shops see, and the fix has been sitting in most people's garages the entire time. Hack number 2, undercarriage rust prevention. This is the big one, the one that will quietly add or destroy thousands of dollars of value on your SUV. Rust on a SUV's undercarriage is not just cosmetic. It attacks your frame, your exhaust system, your brake lines, your fuel lines, and your suspension components. In states where roads are salted in winter, and that is the entire Northeast, Midwest, and Mountain West, undercarriage rust is the primary reason high-mileage SUVs become worthless. A severely rusted frame can make a vehicle structurally unsafe and completely uninsurable for collision. Professional undercoating at a shop runs $150 to $500 and needs to be reapplied every few years. Here's what you can do at home between those professional treatments. After washing your SUV in late fall, get under the vehicle with a flashlight and a can of WD-40. Spray the exposed metal frame rails, the areas around the suspension arms, the visible portions of the exhaust, and any unpainted metal surfaces you can reach. WD-40's water displacement formula creates a moisture barrier on those metal surfaces that significantly slows the oxidation process. It is not a permanent undercoating. It will wear off with driving and needs to be refreshed. Doing this every fall and after heavy salt exposure in winter is the difference between a 10-year SUV and one that starts showing visible rust on the frame at year 6 or 7. One owner in Michigan documented doing this every fall for 8 years on a 2015 Ford Escape. At 140,000 miles, his undercarriage showed surface patina, but zero structural rust. His neighbor with the same model year and similar mileage needed $1,800 in undercarriage repairs at year 7 because they never maintained it. Hack number 1, squeaky and stiff seat track rails. This is number 1 because it is the most universally neglected part on almost every SUV on the road, and the failure it causes is outrageously expensive. The seat track rails are the metal channels that allow your driver and passenger seats to slide forward and backward. They run under every front seat in your vehicle, and they are completely exposed to everything that gets tracked into your cabin: dirt, grit, sand, moisture from wet boots, coffee spills. Over time, the rails accumulate debris. The lubricant factory applied to them dries out, and the seat starts to squeak, resist movement, or stop sliding altogether. Here is the expensive part. A seized seat track is not a simple repair. If the electric motor on a power seat tries to operate a seized rail, it can burn out. Power seat motor replacement on a mid-size SUV runs $400 to $900, parts and labor. If the rail itself becomes damaged or corroded, rail replacement starts at $300 and goes up from there. The problem compounds quickly once the rail starts binding because most drivers just push harder, which accelerates the damage. The hack is embarrassingly simple. Slide your front seats all the way to their forwardmost position. Look at the exposed section of track behind the seat. Spray WD-40 along the full length of the track, getting into the channel where the seat mechanism contacts the rail. Slide the seat all the way back and repeat on the newly exposed front section. Work the seat back and forth several times to distribute the lubricant evenly. Then wipe any excess from the surrounding carpet to prevent it from attracting more dirt. Do this twice a year. Your seats should slide with a single finger's worth of pressure. If yours require any more effort than that right now, the track is already drying out, and you are closer to that repair bill than you think. Mechanics who specialize in interior repairs consistently list seat track failures as one of the most preventable and most common repairs they see. And essentially every single one of them starts with a neglected dry track. That's all 9 hacks. And look, we're not talking about complicated maintenance here. We're talking about a $6 can and 10 minutes in your driveway. The door seals, the sunroof track, the lug nuts, the undercarriage, every single one of these takes less time than a trip through a drive-thru, and each one is protecting you from a repair bill that starts in the hundreds and can push well into the thousands. The dealerships and body shops are not going to tell you this. It is not in their financial interest. But now you know. Start with the 1 or 2 that apply most directly to where you live and how you use your vehicle. Then work through the rest. Your wallet will thank you. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And subscribe and hit the bell so you catch the next breakdown. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.